most people start an online business? First off, because they watched some YouTube video a long time ago. And then second, because they want to, quote unquote, let's say escape the rat race or the matrix, or they don't want to work a 9-to-5 job. They want to have the flexibility and freedom to do whatever they want to. Now that I have a business that makes a lot of money, not in just an objective way compared to, it's just a fact. I spend too much money, that's for sure. The business does okay. I can tell you, I'm just in a different fucking rat race. Instead of working 9 to 5, I'm working 8 to 9, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Everything has trade-offs. But if you're expecting to have a business that generates a ridiculous amount of money, you have to have that trade-off. Not working a 9 to 5, but working a 9 to 9. Sometimes it sucks. Like right now, it actually sucks. I'm visiting family in Massachusetts. It's super fucking shitty out right now. Just pure rain and garbage. I don't want to work, but I've had calls all day and I have a bunch of fucking work that I need to get done before I can do anything. And it's Saturday. And guess what? Tomorrow I have to do the exact same thing. First off, that's because we're scaling very quickly. Ideally, you don't have to do this. I want to build an income producing asset, which is my business, would then maybe take substantially less amount of time than what I'm currently spending, because for the past 2 weeks, we've taken on 2 new clients, and that's substantial for my business. LTV is ridiculously high, which is just your lifetime value of a customer, because I've never lost a client. I'm more methodical with the types of clients that we take on. And I think over the next 5 months, we're going to take on another 6+ clients, which is substantial in terms of the amount of shit that needs to get done every day. And until I can hire more people and automate more things and run it more like a functioning business, it is going to be a very stressful, incredibly busy time. That's the difference, because I will have times where there's a full week where I only have to work 4 hours per day, but then there'll be weeks where I need to work 10 hours per day, and you can't have it average out. It's just not as glorious as every single person says. I actually find a ton of fulfillment because I love running a business. I want to work hard. I want to do substantially more than what we're doing right now. But that does not mean I think that everyone would be better off running a business. You have a substantially different trade-off, which is your time. You actually go from having a lot of free time to having no time. And then instead of when you're off your 9 to 5, when you clock out, you are no longer thinking about work. If you're a barber and you could have a successful business, you're probably not thinking about work when you clock off. But for me, I am thinking about work all hours of the day. And I enjoy thinking about work. When I'm not working, I'm listening to podcasts that are going to make me better at work, or listening to audibles. And this is what I want to do and what I'm choosing to do. And I absolutely love it. It just doesn't mean it's for everybody, which is a mistake that I used to make. We're thinking that this was for everybody, and absolutely not. It takes someone with a ridiculously high risk tolerance, because for the past 5 years, 4 of them, I reinvested every single dollar that I made back into the business, and I'm still doing that. I still don't actually take home any money. I just fucking spend it all growing the team so you can have an asset that is worth more. And for me, worth more is having more cash flow. Micha Rowan, I honestly don't know how to pronounce his name, and that's no disrespect to him. I really, really like the guy. He sold his business for $110 million. And I was talking to him of potentially taking him on as a client. That did not happen, but he's a very, very good guy, and he offered to do some mentoring for me because he sold his company for 9 figures. Pretty young guy. And what he did was, for the first 30 minutes, he was talking me out as to why I should not be a founder, and how stressful my life was going to be, and how I am committing to spending the next decade unbearably busy, and I'm going to have to miss time with friends. I'm going to lose friendships. I'm going to lose relationships. I'm not going to have the best relationship with everyone possible, because it is a sacrifice if you are trying to build something incredible. Afterwards, we started talking, and he said that whenever there's a young founder that he's talking to, he does everything in his power that he can to talk that person out of being a founder and out of running a business. The ones who continue to go and say, I don't care, I want to do this, those are the ones that run super successful companies, end up absolutely crushing it. You just have to understand the trade-offs, because it is not this magical bean. The people who sell that to you, they sell you courses or mentorships, or they want you to go into their program. They say that it's actually easy. And then once you get into their program, it starts off by saying, this is going to be incredibly difficult. Everything is difficult. There's literally nothing easy. There is huge opportunities. I would not want to be in a business model where the tide is going away from me. That would be very, very bad, like unbearably bad. Let's take the opposite. AI right now, it is one of the easiest business models to make a lot of money from. Doesn't mean you're going to make a lot of money without a lot of effort and a lot of hard work and still a lot of other skills, because you could build an AI that is exceptional or understand how to build AI agents for businesses. But if you don't have the skills on how to sell those to businesses, none of that fucking matters. So I was talking to a young guy yesterday who was asking for a little bit of advice. And I said, honestly, dude, here's exactly what I would do. I would just spend the next fucking 800 hours of your life absorbing AI. Anytime you're doing anything while you're at your job, have on fucking AI podcasts, everything you can possibly consume. You should be building AI automations and AI agents all hours of the day and getting exceptionally good at solving one problem for businesses. And then I said, what I'll do with you is I will go to these businesses around with you and I will sell it. And I'll show you how to go into a business and offer this to show that you're actually going to solve their problem. Going up to a business owner and selling is super, super easy for me because all of my clients have businesses that do 9+ figures. All of their friends do. And so I'm constantly surrounded by incredibly large business owners. And a lot of times catch myself in some very intensive negotiating rooms with these guys. Either I'm on the other side of it or I'm just listening in, which is an incredible experience. So I just got this car yesterday from my aunt. New lit. Everyone gets the new Ferrari, getting this new Ford. And guess what? It was $350. That's another thing. Just because you make a bit of money, don't fucking spend it. This is the cheapest I want to be. One, because I was net negative for 3 months in a row. That is another thing that no one ever talks about. This year, I lost a ton of fucking money so far, but we're growing. And sometimes you're investing in that growth. And that sucks. It sucks. It's not something that you want to continuously do over a long period of time. It is very stressful when the first of the month comes up and you owe thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and then you're fucking draining out your savings account. That is another reason why you should want to have a 6 to 8 month cash reserve to where you can functionally run your business and have all expenses paid for no matter what. Another thing of business not being so glamorous, if you have a 9 to 5, you're fine. You have a consistent paycheck. I could make a ridiculous amount of money and then lose 20 grand the next month. You don't want to do that. That is not fun. It's happened. I don't want to do that again. And so actually I'm very thankful that it was happening because I would just say, oh, I'm going to be home for a few weeks. Let me just rent a car and spend what? Fucking thousands of dollars renting a car. And since I'm under 25, you have that additional insurance risk. I was telling this kid, it was just a friend of mine, I would love it if you got really, really good at AI. One thing I was thinking, I would love to hire you. I will go to these business owners and I will sell your solution. Let's figure out a way to either get them more inbound leads. Let's say he could build out an AI agent that would consistently help these businesses rank higher on Google from an SEO perspective, or build out an AI agent that did something that helped them get more leads. The other option, something that improves efficiencies. If you could do all their bookkeeping or something that is a medium or a small business that's doing $4 to $5 million per year, very, very common, they are going to be spending millions of dollars per year on payroll. If you could increase their efficiencies to where they could free up $100,000 of payroll, improve efficiency so they ran substantially better, which is incredibly possible and doable right this second with AI, and you just go into these businesses and sell that as a subscription model, I would go to the dentistries and say, hey, I can do XYZ for you. Here's how it worked for the guys around you. Here's how it functionally looks. I would just ask the business owners questions from a business owner to business owner perspective. Hey man, how are you using AI right now? Obviously, they're probably not doing too much if they're a smaller business. You don't need to sell people on how AI is changing the world because you can just show them, hey, here's what I'm doing for a business owner down the street. Here's the results that we're getting. I would love to help you with this, especially to get ahead of all your competition. There's so much things. You'll be able to, over a multi-year process, be able to cut payroll by hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, which is incredibly feasible. It would be very easy to sell these sorts of AI solutions. There's a white label product that you go into different business owners and help them with. And I was saying, dude, I would charge anywhere from a $4,000 to $10,000 sign-on bonus. So, hey man, it's going to take us a week to build this. It's going to cost $6,000 as a sign-on bonus and then $200 per month because you want that monthly recurring revenue. You don't just want to work for fees. I would just make my life knocking on business owners' doors or going to their business and then trying to sell them on this. It would be very, very easy to sell 10 of these per week. For me, it would be unbelievably easy because I have the skill set that is built up. Let's do the math on that. Let's say it was on the low end and you were selling people a $4,000 per month or a $4,000 sign-on fee. Oh shit, let's not die here. You could potentially be making $40,000 in a week as a sign-on bonus and then $200 per month in subscription revenue. Ideally, you want to grow the subscription to where 6 months down the line, you're making 10, 20 grand a month in quasi-passive income just running the actual business. To a lot of people, this seems so unrealistic. It seems like there's no way they can do that, but it is very, very possible. The problem is, if you're just starting out, you have zero skill on AI. You have zero skill on helping businesses. You don't know where to help them. You don't know how to help them. You don't know how to code them. You don't know how to develop this with AI. You don't know how to plug it into their business model, and then you wouldn't know how to sell it. How would you expect to get any sales, or how would you expect to make any money? But when you stack all of your skills that you cultivated over a long duration of time, it is something that's very feasible. And I would love it if this guy did this, and I would love to document that and prove that it is actually actually very, very possible. I would never go into the expectation that this is going to happen in 6 months. It's much more likely that this happens over a 12-month period of time of working ridiculous hours, because if you can't actually solve something for these businesses, they have nothing to pay for. And it takes a long time to develop skills and to become really good at something. If you don't have 10,000 hours in something, you are really not going to be that great at it. You could be better than most people, but you are not going to be near an expert. I need to spend 100,000 hours before I'll probably have some degree of mastery over anything that I'm doing.